Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of News Bites, a Yieldstreet times What the Fintech collaboration. I'm your host, Nicole Casperson, and today I'm weighing in on timely fintech news topics and trends you should be paying attention to. In this episode, we're going over the Amazon versus Visa dispute, Plaid's acquisition of Cognito, and Coinbase's partnership with Mastercard to simplify NFT purchases. Sound good? All right, let's dive in. As a journalist who has covered the finance sector over the last 5 years, I've had the opportunity to interview and engage with some of the best minds in the space. Leaving big bank earnings reports to the boring traditional media firms, I'll focus on the tech-savvy apps, digital investing platforms, challenger banks, and payment giants to drive relevant content that looks forward to disruption instead of fearing it. I'm Nicole Casperson, fintech journalist, and this is What the Fintech. The infamous Amazon versus Visa dispute may be settled, for now. In case you missed it, back in November, millions of online shoppers in the UK were receiving emails notifying them that Amazon would stop accepting UK-issued Visa credit cards. Basically, Amazon was trying to draw attention to what it believed were Visa's overly high interchange swipe fees, which are charged for processing transactions. Applied to millions of transactions each day, swipe fees are many realtors' highest cost after labor, driving up consumer prices by hundreds of dollars a year. In fact, swipe fees have grown from about $20 billion a year in 2001 to $110 billion a year as of 2020, and that's according to the National Retail Federation. Amazon has since backed off its threat to stop accepting Visa credit cards that originate in the UK, easing tensions that had mounted last year as the e-commerce giant protested the card network's fees around the world. But let's be real. Drawing a line between Amazon and the UK would have been a risky move for Amazon, given the online retailer would have alienated customers in its third largest market. Based on reported statements from Amazon and Visa, the two companies appear to be nearing a new agreement on the fees to be imposed when customers use their Visa cards to buy goods on the massive online marketplace. While Amazon made its problems with Visa very clear, it's hard to tell if it was just a marketing ploy to encourage customers to use Amazon's own credit card instead. Imagine if this dispute was not resolved. Millions of customers would have found their Visa cards not working for Amazon purchases after January 19th. This would have resulted in projected losses in excess of $2 billion for both companies. It's an interesting brinkmanship game to observe because high fee charges are something that many fintech platforms and neobanks are looking to reduce, but apparently not Visa. Moving on. Next, let's talk about Plaid, an open banking fintech unicorn famous for its API tools for financial services app developers. The fintech recently announced its acquisition of Cognito, an identity verification startup, for $250 million in cash and stock. California-based Cognito provides businesses with consumer identity verification and compliance solutions. The company currently has over 300 clients, and it has verified 76 million IDs to date. Cognito's customer base includes Affirm, Brex, Current, Republic, and Wire. The acquisition is meant to help Plaid build better products for ID verification and security processes throughout the fintech ecosystem. Compliance and security are huge in the finance industry, and tech is rapidly changing and enhancing how businesses keep your information, your money, and your investments safe. A growing prevalence of cyber fraud and data breaches, as well as mounting regulatory pressure, has contributed to the market's growth. The global digital identity solutions market is expected to reach a value of roughly $50 billion by 2026, and that's according to Markets and Markets. PayPal recently admitted that 4.5 million accounts were illegitimate, as fintech's fraud problem clearly grows. Without the restraint of legacy systems, fintech challengers and neobanks have been able to offer innovative solutions to digital identity. Many fintech companies have stitched together different programs and facilities for recognizing faces, fingerprints, or voices, but it can make customer onboarding a bit messy. So Plaid wants to use this acquisition to dramatically reduce overheads for onboarding new customers across the fintech sector. If digital identity is to be adopted across financial services, then collaboration could be the key ingredient. Will Plaid succeed? We'll just have to wait and find out. For our last story, let's talk about how NFTs might get as easy to buy as your weekend takeout. How? Through partnerships with crypto exchanges like Coinbase, which recently partnered with finance giant Mastercard. Clearly, the NFT boom is still booming, even while Bitcoin prices had its recent roller coaster ride. In fact, NFTs grew to a $41 billion market in 2021. Coinbase and Mastercard are capitalizing on this by joining forces to make the purchasing of NFTs quicker and easier for millions of people. The partnership is based on defining NFTs as digital goods, which also makes sense. So what this partnership means is that you can experiment with crypto and NFTs with a simple card payment, instead of opening a crypto wallet, exchanging fiat for cryptocurrency, researching which wallets can hold NFTs, and so on and so on. With both the Nasdaq and crypto sliding into correction phase, 2022 may be set to be a test of endurance for consumers and investors alike. Despite this, fintech continues to thrive with several strong investment rounds for growing companies in the space, and huge growth in some geographic regions like Israel. And NFTs continue to be an intriguing area of alternative investments to watch. Twitter has even joined the game by integrating a new profile picture option to display your unique digital collectible. I suspect the NFT market will continue to grow, and this trend, along with all its hype, isn't going away anytime soon. All right, FinTech fam, that's all for this edition of News Bites. Thank you to our friends at Yieldstreet for collaborating and to our listeners for tuning in. If you loved this episode, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You can find me on all your favorite podcast platforms. Until next time, talk to you soon.